Good evening and welcome to episode 65. As always, we will start with our gratitude attitude. So, if you would please gently close your eyes, take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax your body. Let all the tension from your muscles drain out. Take another deep breath, and as you exhale, relax some more. Take one more deep breath. This time, completely let yourself go. Now, think of one thing that you're thankful for that happened in the past week. Once you identified that, think about why you are thankful. And now let's set it free. If you're by yourself, say it out loud what you're thankful for and why. If you are with someone, tell it to each other. Okay. So, one of our viewers requested that I revisit a topic that we had discussed previously called inherent existence. We have talked about at length in the past about inherent existence, part of so called wisdom teachings. It's been a long time since we talked about this. So, in the next few episodes, let's take a fresh look at this topic with different examples. First of all, what really is inherent existence? If you think about most of us take the existence of all phenomena for granted. We think they are all inherent. What does that mean? Well, let's talk about any object, your car, your house, the clothes you put on, the computer, and so on. We think it exists and doesn't think twice about it. As a matter of fact, we think it exists inherently and cling to it. This grasping of or clinging right, is what brings the most suffering in our lives. I know this sounds crazy, so let's break it down. Any existence is either inherent or it's not, right? So, what is inherent existence? A phenomena that exists from its own side is considered an inherent existence. In reality, there is no such thing. Nothing can exist from its own side, meaning it has no dependency to anything else. It's just there, right? But for anything to exist from its own side, either it is the same as its parts or collection of its part, right? There's no other possibility. So let's take an example. Here's a book, right? Can't even see it. There you go. Now you see it, now you don't. Inherent existence. Anyway, here's a book. Hopefully, all of you read this, right? Um, we all agree this is a book. Now, let's say that you look at this book and say, yeah, it exists, absolutely. But if I just give you one page out of this book, I tear a page apart and say, okay, is this a book? Let's say you order this book from Amazon and they send you page 55, right? Would you say you received the book? Of course not. How about the cover page of this book? If someone only gave you a cover page of this book, would you say it's a book? No, you would not. So we all agree that the parts of the book are not the book, right? Parts of the books are the pages and the cover page and the last page, right? Or the back cover, I guess. How about a collection of the parts? You ordered a book and they give you leaflets, right? All 164 pages separate, just sitting there. You won't call that a book. So there is no inherently existence book, right? Then what is it that we call this a book? It's nothing but imputation. It's a book because we are calling it a book. It has no inherent existence. Another way to look at this is that it's a dependent existence. So it's something I recently learned, very interesting thing uh, from a scientist, that if a person loses their eyesight, say around at 3 years of age, and if they recover their eyesight, say around the age of 40, they would not be able to see what we see. For them, it would just be a blurb of energy. There won't be clear computer or clear face, anything like that. Because the part of the brain that associates images is not developed at the age of 3. So they are never able to see the things we see. Now, if the same thing happens to them, let's say at the age of 8, and they lose their eyesight, at the time, image association is fully developed. If they recover their eyesight 40 years later, they will be able to see what we see. Everything normal. So it's a dependent existence. The same thing that are in our experience are not in the experience of people who have not developed image association or people who are blind, right? For them, it doesn't exist. For you and me, it does exist. So let's look at another thing. Let's look at this pen. Hopefully you can see that, right? Can you point to the pen? Where is the pen? Is it on your screen? Is it in my hand? Right? Do you see this on your screen? Do you see my hand? Right? You see this pen because your eye senses look at a picture of the pen. Your brain interprets that as a pen. In other words, the pen is in your mind. Without your brain interpreting this object like a pen, the pen doesn't exist for you. In other words, dependent existence. We are not saying nothing exists, right? Because we are experiencing this phenomena. We can see the pen, we can use the pen, we can use the computer. So we are not saying nothing exists. What we are saying is that all phenomena are either imputed or dependent existence. There is no inherent existence, if you will. Let's look at another example. We all have car parked in our garage. Let's see if the car inherently exists. For a car to exist, it can either be found in its part or collection of its part, right? If I give you 4 tires, you would not call that a car. If I give you 2 bucket seats, you would not call that a car. If I gave you an engine and a trunk part and a brake, bunch of brake pads and transmission, you would not call that a car, right? So none of these parts individually are a car. If you go buy a car and there's a full delivery at your home, and they bring all the parts separate, 4 tires, 2 bucket seats, engine, transmission, everything, and put a pile on your garage, right? You would go back and ask for your money back because that's not a car. Meaning the collection of the parts of the car is not a car. So there is no inherently existing car. It's a car because we all decided to call it a car. In other words, it's an imputed existence. So hope this makes sense. Again, this is a very deep subject. I would like to pick this up next week on the same topic. So we can investigate a little more to make sure that we are all on the same page as to inherent existence, what it is not. I do want to make sure that if you have questions, please ask either at the end or email me, text me, whatever, right? Because, this is one of those subjects, it's going to take a long time to sink in. More we talk about it, easier it becomes, obviously. So please let the questions come in. So in today's meditation, as always, we'll settle down in our hearts. Then let's try to imagine our mind is this vast, bright, sunny sky. And thoughts are clouds that come and go. We'll observe the thoughts that may come and disappear in this vast, empty sky. We'll just observe these thoughts without giving them any attention and without chasing them. And that's the key point, right? Let's not chase these thoughts. If they come, we'll look at it, see where it's going. It'll go away. The next one will start. Again, we'll look at it. It'll go away. But we won't bog down in chasing those thoughts down the rabbit hole. If we just observe, we'll notice that they will disappear. And we'll then observe the empty-like nature of space. That is our mind. So that's the plan. Hope you're ready. Please get into a meditation posture in a cross-legged position. If you are seated on a chair, keep your legs straight. Keep your back straight, spine upright, shoulders leveled. Gently close your eyes. Keep your mouth just a little bit open. That way, any tension you may have in your jaws will disappear. Put your palms in your lap right over left, thumbs gently touching each other. Now take a deep breath. As you exhale, see all your tension melt away. Take another deep breath. This time, completely relax yourself. Bring your attention to the sensation of your breath. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. Feel slightly warmer air as you breathe out. Keep your attention with the sensation of your breath for about a minute or so on your own. Bring your attention at your heart. Imagine everything that happened before this moment melts into light and disappears. Things that have not yet happened are not real anyway. So it is just this moment. Enjoy the peaceful nature of this moment. Let this peaceful moment bring the next peaceful moment. Remember, there is nothing to do, nowhere to go. It is just this moment. Now, imagine your mind as this vast, bright, sunny sky. And thoughts are like the clouds in the sky. Clouds come, clouds go. If a thought arises, don't chase it, just observe it, and it will go away. Do the same with the next thought. Just observe the sky. Again, if a thought arises, just, just observe it and it will pass by. If you are sucked into drama that is your thoughts, please come back. Bring your attention to the sensation of your breath for about 10 breaths. It will calm you down. Thought arises, just observe it and it will pass by. Enjoy the empty sky nature that is your mind for the last minute or so on your own. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Any questions? Go ahead, Primal.
No, none yet. We have to talk a lot about this one. It's a very, very complex topic.
You
But
know,
essentially, we are saying nothing exists inherently, right? Absolutely nothing, no exceptions, because anything you can.
exactly. No exceptions, and that prevents you from getting sucked into the drama, right? If that stops you from clinging to, see, we cling to things, right? If you think about our problems, right? Because it's my money or my car, whatever that is, my, right? We cling to things like it's just there. And
Yeah.
start separating that hey, there's no inherent existence, there is no need to cling to these things,
Yeah.
right? Life becomes simple. I mean, it's easy to say. I am not saying, it's easy to do, but hopefully, step by step we'll get
Yeah.
there.
The best. Yep.
So,
Makes sense. Yep.
yep. So cool. I'm going to stop recording.